Hey guys, this is Nick with Cymatics, and in this video I'll be covering the mod effects section of Pluto. Pluto has a modulation effects section with 3 different modulation effects, which are selectable by this mode selector here. They're chorus, phaser, and flanger. And beginning with the chorus is essentially a multi-voice kind of ensemble chorus, which is going to spread out your signal and make it sound so much more lush and vibrant than before. You can take a very simple kind of mono sound. If you push it through the chorus, it will make it a lot more vibrant, and vivid all of a sudden. And I really recommend you guys try it out, even just in small amounts, to give it a bit more of a wavering feeling. So just on this guitar, for example, that I have, I just set my mode to chorus, and I'm just going to be using the mod effects chorus for this. Increasing the knob, the main knob is going to increase the main modulation amount, chorus amount, to kind of absurd values. And the intensity of the chorus effect can be determined by all of these parameters. Frequency, feedback, even stereo can kind of change the way that the chorus is going to sound. So if you want the chorus to sound a bit less in your face, then you can reduce the frequency. Likewise, if you want to kind of make it a bit more of a vivid sound, you can increase the feedback and the frequency together. Get kind of a Nirvana style watery sound. Finally, we have the stereo offset, which is really useful on the chorus because it lets you take a mono signal and just spread it out across the stereo field. And this, we have a stereo offset function for all the modulation effects. So it sounds very, very pretty and lush. And that's kind of the goal of the ensemble chorus. I really recommend you guys try it out. We spent a lot of time tuning this particular chorus to sound as good as it can. You can kind of get a very slow, wavering sound. Okay, so moving on to the phaser. The phaser is a very interesting phaser in the sense that it's designed around a barber pole architecture, and it has very wide frequency range. But at lower frequencies, you're going to get a kind of a standard phaser sound. You'll notice that the mix, instead of the stereo, we have just the mix section here, which gives you a bit more control over kind of the intensity of the phaser, and you can kind of tune it into the signal the way you want it to. You can blend it the way you want it to. But yeah, it also sounds great on guitars, obviously. And this phaser design is interesting in the sense that it has the frequency kind of goes up and down in positive and negative values. And you'll notice on lower frequencies in either direction, you're going to hear what it's doing to the sound. It almost gives it kind of a swooshing effect that goes either up or down depending on the direction of the frequency knob. So if you listen carefully to the effect of the phaser, if I turn up the amount, when I have positive frequencies, that swooshing is going up, whereas if I turn it down, kind of go yow, 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 it's kind of doing that. So you can get very intense effects, which is useful to tune out with the mix. It almost kind of sounds like a univibe tremolo. And of course you have stereo offset. which kind of gives it a swirly, almost Leslie kind of effect. I kind of love turning up the rate really high to kind of simulate it like an optical tremolo or like a univibe. That sounds exactly like a univibe to me. So that's a really cool effect as well. A lot of flexibility there. And finally, we have a flanger. It's kind of like a chorus, but you can get a bit more of a almost metallic sound with it. Sometimes you can get very watery textures. And the feedback here, unlike the frequency in the phaser, the feedback here is bidirectional. So you have positive and negative feedback values. This will also change the way that the sound occurs over time. So in a similar way to the phaser, you're going to have a kind of an upwards motion and downwards motion if you turn the feedback down. You can kind of hear like the typical sort of a jet-like sound. The big knob is going to control the flanger modulation amount. So with negative feedback values, you tend to get kind of more of a lush sound. With positive feedback values, you're going to get more of a standard kind of a flanger metallic tone, timbre to it. I typically prefer to use the negative feedback, and then obviously spread out the stereo. The flanger could be used as almost like more of a natural stereo spreader than say a chorus, because choruses will give you more of a standard kind of pitch modulation. Flanger is the delay times are shorter, so you're going to get a more natural stereo spreading effect. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something about the modulation effects. Try all of them out and use them in your Pluto chains. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.